What do Reese Witherspoon, Magic Johnson, and Rihanna have in common? Or how about the local florist, dad doing after-school pickup, or your favorite dancing couple on TikTok? Any guesses? Hint, it's the same answer as what Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos have in common. They're all entrepreneurs. Yet, if I blindly ask you to name an entrepreneur, many only think of the tech giants. Yes, their ideas transformed our daily lives and society. So for 3 decades, we've read books, articles, and watched every documentary that dissects their very decisions. Yet, I find this image of the heroic innovator not only unrelatable, it's fundamentally untrue. Think beyond Silicon Valley. The entrepreneurs of today and tomorrow are the family-run businesses in your community, the coaches, the consultants, the content creators, and artists selling their work on Etsy, all alongside our innovators. I'm an organizational psychologist, and I've been studying entrepreneurial trends. For nearly a year and a half, I've interviewed dozens of entrepreneurs, asking them why they started their businesses. And while my findings, they challenge what we thought we knew. So I'm here today in front of all of you to say, tomorrow's entrepreneurs aren't who we think. There are 3 trends that are emerging from recent findings and my interviews. And those are, first, the career ladder is dead. Second, people are prioritizing their values and true identities in their career decisions. And third, the future face of entrepreneurship is far more diverse than you imagine. So if we put all of these trends together, the reality is you are likely to become an entrepreneur. Let's break each of these down a bit. To do so, I'm going to share a couple of stories from the interviews I conducted. First, imagine a woman who has her dream job in publishing. She's also a first-time expectant mother. She plans to return to work after her maternity leave. Upon arrival, her child needs additional medical care. So her and her maternity cover propose a job share. No additional cost to the company. They are immediately refused. So, with a sick child and a husband in graduate school, she needs both income and flexibility. At that point, she exhausts all part-time job options and realizes her only path forward is to start her own marketing firm. That child today is in college, reflecting back on the powerful example of watching her mother grow a business. Because sometimes entrepreneurship isn't a choice, it's the last option. And that's because careers aren't ladders, they're lattices. They go up, they go down, they zig and they zag. Sometimes it's even true for our most beloved celebrities and athletes. We're entrepreneurs, we're employees, we're both at various points in our life. We might choose it full-time or part-time or as a side hustle. It may last you a month, a year, a decade, or longer. Next, what kept coming up in my interviews was the deeply personal reasons people were choosing entrepreneurship. They were burnt out, laid off, needed flexibility, or were seeking to prioritize their purpose. I spoke with a nonprofit director, originally from South Central LA, and he depicts 2 of our new realities. First, the career ladder is dead, and second, what it looks like to prioritize your true identity and values in career decisions. So I asked him why he started his organization, and he said, we have to go way back to the beginning of my career. He said, I had everything. a lucrative finance job, beautiful city apartments, and weekend parties with friends. Then his work travel brought him to the Mississippi Delta. He slowed as he told me. It was the first time I saw true poverty, the kind where you can't afford to put shoes on your feet. After that, the lucrative job, beautiful apartment, all began to feel a bit empty. He would leave finance and pursue a master's in education and then become a program director at a national nonprofit, all while starting his own organization. Because like others, it took him time to believe you can truly center your values at the core of your career decisions. But transformed by that very process, 14 years later, he still runs that organization full-time, and he has reached thousands of local youth through his mentorship program. This story deeply resonated with me as a career changer. By 30, I was a burnt-out startup marketer who had been laid off twice. The idea of job security vanished from my vocabulary. So at that point, I decided to pursue a doctorate in organizational and leadership psychology. I was simply trying to understand my own experiences and had a deep desire to help others. That was kind of at a significant time. It happened to be the pandemic and what many would call the Great Awakening. This was a time when people took to social media to share their authentic workplace experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's also a time when people courageously shared why they were leaving organizations and going out on their own. There were themes of flexibility, identity, and values echoing everywhere. Because sometimes the lattice is a beautiful, methodical, thoughtful process. Other times, it's survival and flexibility that sends us on our new path. Both of those realities bring us to the third point, the diversifying face of entrepreneurship. To really get this one, let's dive into the data. So, last year, 430,000 new business applications were submitted each month. That is a 50% increase since 2019. And women are 44% of all business owners now, a 114% increase in just 2 decades. And Black and Latinx entrepreneurship is up 55% since before the pandemic. So to recap, women now own 44% of all businesses, and Black and Latinx entrepreneurship is up 55% since 2019. Those historically left out of leadership and underpaid are no longer reacting. They are proactively betting on themselves. To paint this whole picture, though, we also need to understand generational trends. Baby boomers had 4 to 5 jobs in their career. Millennials, double that, 8 or more jobs. And right now, Gen Z has a work tenure of under 2 years. That is 1 year and 8 months. If that trend continues, we will triple the numbers of previous generations. Because gone are the days of one job, one career until retirement. The new reality is multiple jobs, multiple careers, and non-linear career paths. And that's why I stand in front of you and say, it is probable you will become an entrepreneur, and if not you, someone you care about. So after asking the why, I wanted to know, how can we help? What were the challenges? They told me they were anxious, uncertain, and they just simply were facing other mental health challenges. This is all in a society where we know there's increased childcare costs, there's mass layoffs, return to work mandates, and increased elder care responsibilities. In a 2019 study, Freeman et al. Actually found that entrepreneurs are 50% more likely than the general population to report a mental health condition. Yet, these people still are convicted that this is the best choice for them and their family. So right now, they're learning coping on the fly. There's intense budgeting, financial contingency planning, robust wellness routines, networking groups, and faith communities. Yet I refuse to believe this is the best we can do for our entrepreneurial friends and family. So I'm asking all of you today, please write a review, refer them business, and genuinely check in. Ask how they were doing and lend a listening ear. Because even when it's a values-based decision, entrepreneurship, unlike Instagram posts, isn't all pina coladas on the beach. And to our organizational leaders and managers, I'm asking us to evolve to a place where we genuinely validate entrepreneurial experiences. Please inquire with your entrepreneurial employees and future applicants. They are ready to share their lessons learned and creative ideas. Because we know the heroic innovator was never the complete picture, it's far more diverse. And I want to build a world where it's not only possible, it's probable that everyone can do entrepreneurship. Because as I said earlier, tomorrow's entrepreneurs aren't who you think, they're us.